All right, good morning, guys. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of drawing. So we're going to be focused on using shading, and eventually we're going to work up to be using that shading to create the illusion of three-dimensionality, which we call chiaroscuro, which is an Italian word that means just that, creating the illusion of three-dimensionality on a two-dimensional surface like a piece of paper. So all we need is a piece of paper and just a regular pencil for today. I assume most people don't have their drawing pencils with them. Usually the drawing pencils, they give you information on the side that tells you the difference in value, how light or dark it is. So that gives us just a little bit more control, but it's not necessary for any type of drawing really. It just makes it a little bit easier and again gives you a little bit more control. So just a normal pencil is going to work fine for today. The first thing that I want you guys to think about is how we usually hold our pencil, right? Usually we're going to hold our pencil or even our pen anytime that we're writing anything. We hold it this way because letters and numbers are created with lines. So it makes it a lot easier and gives us the ability to create lines a lot cleaner and more precise when we hold our pencil this way. And a lot of the drawing that we do, we also do with lines as well. It just kind of depends on what you're drawing an image of. Okay, but today we want to focus on shading. So when it comes to shading, lines are kind of the enemy. We don't want to leave lines behind. We just want to have the graphite come out on the surface of the paper in a really smooth way. So the first thing we want to focus on is how we're holding our pencil. Instead of holding our pencil this way and using the tip of the pencil, we're going to turn it over kind of like you're grabbing the handlebars on your bike, except put your index finger out towards the front of the pencil, and I kind of support it with my other three fingers underneath. Right? It's going to feel a little awkward at first, but try to practice and use it this way, because if we hold it this way, it's a lot less pressure on your wrist when we are focusing on trying to use the side surface area of the graphite. Right? So by holding it this way, you can see that when I shade across, I'm not leaving lines behind. It's just the graphite coming out really smoothly on the surface of the paper. And that's what we want to focus on. So do a little bit of practice, holding your pencil this way and starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with it. Once you're noticing that your shading is looking nice and smooth and you're not leaving lines behind, we want to practice our ability to create different shades. So we're going to draw a rectangle that has 5 different sections to it, right? And what we want to do is gradually go darker and darker and darker. So with this first one, we're going to go really light with our pressure. I'm not pushing down on the pencil at all. I'm just going to let the weight of the pencil do the work for me. And it's okay if you go outside of the lines a little bit. We're focusing more on the value, not so much on being precise here, right? So this one's going to be our lightest value. And then as we work forward, we're just going to increase the amount of pressure that we're putting down on the pencil. It should still be nice and smooth. We shouldn't notice any lines behind in our value. If you're noticing lines behind as you're shading, one thing that could be causing them is not how you're necessarily holding the pencil, but if you have some flat spots that start to form on the tip of your pencil, those might catch and leave a little line behind. So if you just sharpen your pencil, it should be a lot smoother and easier to shade with. So as we're moving towards our darker values, you're really going to want to increase how much pressure you're pushing down. So when you get finished, take a step back and kind of look at those different value steps. Make sure they're nice and even. If you need to come back in and darken any of them, you can. And that's going to be the first of the 2 different shading assignments we're going to do for today.